The Grappling Hour is brought to you by BioPro Plus, the faster, easier, and safer non-synthetic alternative to painful anti-aging and hormone treatments. Well, we sure learned our lesson about sub-only, no-time limit matches. They're good in theory, just maybe not live. And I've been told, if you listen carefully, Isaac Michell and Kyle Chambers are still rolling out there somewhere. I would watch it, but it got sent to a third set of mats. It's wild. The fact that these two gentlemen were doing the best that they could and they got sent to a series of mats that were behind where the main cameras were because they went on for too long. And I get it. Listen, yes, sub-only no time limit sounds like something you should read in scrolls or be told as myths or, even be told at your gym. But the actuality of watching it, maybe not the best for a live telecast. And I think we learned that lesson. However, I don't want to discourage people from it, especially for a show that really seemed to want to give the athletes an opportunity to leave nothing to air and let it go until its finality. And next time, maybe just performance highlights tell us what happened. And I don't want to see you guys come after either Kyle or Isaac in the comments. They're both really good at what they do. It does us no service. And you know what? It sounds like they're angling for a rematch. And I got news for you. If they're trying to do something like that, let's not do it the way we did it before, okay? Because I don't know too many people who want to watch that. Like Flo. Listen, as a true fan of sub-only, no time limit, even I have to admit, it wasn't the best day for it, but I still believe that someone will crack that code. Just, I don't know. Maybe we're fucked. Anyway, don't go anywhere. You're watching The Grappling Hour. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Raph Esparza, coming to you with another installment of Grappling Hour. So glad you're here. We have some big news here at the show, and I'm really excited about it. We are now honoring a new sponsor on the show. Very much looking forward to bringing them on. It is BioPro Plus, an excellent company. We've been very happy. You know what? I don't even want to tell you about it. Why don't you just listen to this guy? He'll tell you everything you need to know. Do you wish that you could recover faster from workouts or training? Do you wish you had the same energy, power, stamina, and drive that you used to? Every year after puberty, your growth hormone decreases, sometimes by as much as 50%. And, spoiler, it doesn't come back. It doesn't matter how in shape you are or how good your diet is. Just like death, taxes, and sequels to The Fast and the Furious, they're gonna happen, whether you like it or not. But Raph, how does this affect me? A young Jiu-Jitsu practitioner who believes he will never get old. Well, growth hormone decreases can cause poor workout performance, slow workout and injury recovery, chronic fatigue, mood swings, depression, body fat, low libido, poor sleep, and a lot more. Though frankly, if you're asking me, that sounds like plenty. That's where BioPro Plus comes in. BioPro Plus is the first of its kind 100% non-synthetic alternative to prescription HGH growth hormone treatments. It immediately replaces what your body is not getting, and it does it naturally without the needles, nasty side effects, or the expensive costs of typical synthetic growth hormone treatments. BioPro Plus is not a synthetic drug, so it won't shut off your natural production or cause you to pop on any drug tests. Wink, ADCC competitors. Since 2009, BioPro Plus was only available through doctors, but not anymore. Now you can get BioPro Plus shipped directly to you. No doctor visits, no blood work, no pharmacy. If you're serious about your training, and I hope that you are, go to BioProtein Tech and use the promo code GRAPPLINGHOUR for We're giving them $30 off to our idiots? Okay, it's their money. Go to BioProtein Tech and use the code GRAPPLINGHOUR for $30 off. So go check out BioPro Plus today before your competition does. Hey, if you're interested, go check out their website. Let us know what you think. And more importantly, use our promo code. It really does help us out here on the show. All right. I don't want to waste too much time. This week, I caught up with somebody who I have a little bit of history with. Apparently, we had some beef, but we were able to take care of that in the first 10 minutes. And that just happens to be the first 10 minutes that you get to see on this week's preview episode. So sit back, relax, and get to know the man, the myth, the legend known as Dova Dogg. I once referred to this guest as Matthew. It was not my best moment. It was because I was not given a sheet that said his name. Unfortunately, I went through the commentary for 2 of his matches, referring to him as Matthew, by the suggestion of my good friend John Evans, not to throw him under the bus, but I just did. And I have to say, his name isn't Matthew. It's ISAAC Cordova, otherwise known as Dova Dogg. ISAAC, again, my apologies on all of the inconveniences I have done to you, but I want to ask this. When I first referred to you as Matthew, what was your first reaction when you heard it? Because you heard it on playback.
Yeah, man. Well, I was in competition mode, so not much bothers me in competition mode. I just really can't be bothered. So I was like, they're gonna get it right eventually. So one win, you didn't get it right. 2 wins, you didn't get it right. Took 3 wins for you to finally get it right. So it just gave me the opportunity to right a wrong. So I was all good with it, but my students were pissed. They still don't let go of it. Every time somebody watches it, they let me know about it.
Do they know that's me? Have they put it together? Because I know some of them.
Eventually, gonna if they don't know, it's a lot of white and blue belts who are newer to the scene. I've only been full-time coaching for about a year and a half, but then yeah, so like first they tell me like, oh, there's this guy, and then eventually they come back, they're like, oh, it's this guy, and his name is Roth, and so it's a whole process that has to unfold every single time.
I mean, you know what the sad realization is? At some point, they're going to realize I'm an idiot. So if not through this, it's a good way to get introduced to the type of nonsense that I do. So it doesn't really offend me. And also, I can give a fuck what they think, especially if they're white and blue belts. Thank you for absolving me of that guilt. Hey, stick around for a few years before you can even give me shit. But yes, so it goes. I was not given a sheet with the competitors' names. Normally, it's even just something that they write down on a piece of paper and they hand it to you. I didn't have this at this particular tournament. And what makes it more infuriating is that I did all of this research on every one of the competitors. That meant I Instagram stalked all of you and literally looked at all of your nonsense just to find some interesting tidbits to say about you during the telecast. The difference is I know you. You are a follower of our show. We're friends outside of that region. And because we were looking at these tiny monitors, I didn't even put it together until you got to the finals that I go, that's ISAAC. Shit. I've been calling him Matthew this whole time. Damn
The
it.
funniest thing is like you were like, oh, Matthew trains here at 10 Planet Fullerton. So like you completely knew who I was. You
I
just still
just,
butchered the name for some reason.
you know what it was? I think at that point, I just shifted all the things that I knew about ISAAC and said, well, his name's Matthew now. You know what, though? We live
Yeah,
in very sensitive times. Think about this, though. What if you identified more as a Matthew and I had to acknowledge that? I actually was just trying to be respectful of your change from ISAAC to Matthew. I think that's what happened.
you just had too much respect for John Evans. It was John Evans.
It
He,
was
he
John.
said Matthew, and he said Matthew, and he had to get it right, so you just went with it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude. John Evans does a lot of things really well. But on that one, I made the mistake, if I made any big mistakes, of believing him outright. But yes, I did curse the promoter jokingly off air. Surprisingly, that did not make the telecast. I harbor no feelings about it, except for the fact that it was really funny. And in the moment, I was just like, well, yeah, I'm kind of pissed because if I had it written down, I would have put it together. But because you're in the moment and like you get into a zone for competition, I get into a zone of, all right, well, what's Matthew doing here? All right. I mean, Matthew looks a lot like ISAAC Cordova, but oh, that's strange. It's the Clark Kent Superman thing that was happening there. All right. But let's talk about this, man. I was so happy that you got this win that you just did this past weekend. We'll get to it in a second, talking about the PGF. But I do want to bring this up, which is, yes, you were telling me off air that you and I have trained before and that we probably just trained right before that experience. I can remember, I think it was one, but I think you were mentioning it could have been twice. So that does make it worse. But does it give you some sort of redeeming quality that the person screwing up your name is somebody who at least you've rolled with and you kind of know?
Yeah, definitely. It makes it more hilarious. It's like, you're my friend, dude. Like, why are you butchering my name? It's like, I'm competing. I'm hearing you because, like, the booth was only like 6 feet off the mat. Like, I can hear what you were saying. It's like, you're like he's going for a Kimura, and then, like, my opponent starts to defend his arm, and then I can hear you calling me Matthew. I'm like, really, dude? Like, okay. I guess I'm gonna have to keep on winning.
So, okay, that was something I was worried about as well, because I did ask a couple people. I knew multiple people in that. I didn't mess up their names. I messed up yours. But I did ask people. I was like, can you guys hear us? And everybody lied and said no. And the thing to me is that I knew you guys would get really close to us. It was a fairly big mat, so I knew you would have moments where you'd be away from us. But there were moments where you were close, and I didn't want to be a dick to make it turn into golf commentary where I'd be like, and he's going for an armbar here. This armbar is very good. I was like, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be normal. So you telling me that they could actually hear my commentary as well makes me so, I mean, it's not even sad. It's just funny at this point. It's just,
It's
I
funny.
didn't want to screw
It's like
things up for you.
you're like a cartoon character in the commentary. And at that point, it's like there's like a serious competition going on, and then you're just like a cartoon character from like left field that's just interjecting.
It's so funny because I think I was trying to watch some of the comments, and the minute I put it together, I could see us getting roasted in the live chat. And then, you have that moment of abhorrent fear, especially if you're a person who likes to prepare for things. And then you just go, yeah, you got to own this. If you screwed up, own it. Like, that's why we said it on air. So that's why I laugh. But you've gone on to do so much more since then. You've been such a great presence. I've been seeing you compete more and more and more. We're going to get into your backstory in a second, but tell me how you came to be that you were going to compete at the PGF. What made you go to that qualifier?
I'd say Hunter Colvin made me go. Hunter Colvin was in season 3, and it just looked like he dominated and had a blast. That with the combination of Brandon McCatherine, BMAC, the whole 10 Planet Decatur crew, Matt Scaff, Lindsay McCatherine. I've been wanting to visit 10 Planet Decatur forever, and I would have just paid out of pocket to have just visited the gym and trained. So the fact that they had the PGF qualifiers there and the USA grappling qualifiers there. Everything just kind of perfect storm. So I headed over and decided to compete.
I'm so glad that you did, because I think, did I message you before? And I saw that you were going. So when I was out in the wilderness, I have very limited Wi-Fi. So I was just like, oh, are you going to do the qualifiers? And you're like, yeah. I was like, dude, that's perfect. You're going to fucking smoke that shit. And, I think that, God, I have to mention this. I think one of the funniest things you ever told me is I send those messages on occasion to people in our inner circle. And I said, yo, you're going to go kill it, bro. And you're like, call me by my real name. And I was like, Matthew. And I laughed so hard. I was on the other side of that text going, you know what? He's right. Yep. There's no me being a smart ass and being like, no, fuck you, kid. I was like, I got to eat that one. So I like when, if you ever see me in the chat, every once in a while, you'll still hear me call you a Matthew. And the best part is there's no part of you in my brain, at least, that looks like a Matthew. It's like when I scored a goal in high school and they attributed it to Max Esparza. And I go, who knows a guy named Max Esparza? What Mexican is naming their kid Max, let alone combining it with the Esparza? And I got really angry. So I would tell people, I'm like, anytime somebody fucked up in high school, I was like, nah, that's Max Esparza. I don't know that guy. And they're like, yeah. I was like, yeah, Max Esparza made some bad choices. Raf Esparza, though, all up here. Very smart. So maybe that's how I should have told you I fucked up.
This joke lives on, man. Like, I'll be at open mat, like looking for my next roll, and then like my teammates will call out, hey Matthew, just to like mess with me.
I'm so sorry.
This joke lives on.
That's so great. You know what? Again, I'm so glad that of all people this could have happened to, the fact that it is somebody that I do know, at least knows our sense of humor and has one themselves, it's so good, because so many people in this sport take their shit so seriously to the point where I've had people come up to me after I've done commentary and they wanted to have a few words about my commentary. And I've been like, what are you going to tell me? And then by the end of it, they end up apologizing to me. And it's just because it's a very self-conscious time. People get very in their heads. So I just try to make people feel very relaxed. And I'm like, wait, oh, they thought I was somebody else. And I'm like, you didn't know that wasn't me, right? And they're like, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. So they apologized to me. So it's a grand circle. I just try to keep a good perspective of it.
They
Tell
don't know
me.
you're a comic, man.
All right, that's going to do it for us here at the Grappling Hour. My name again, Rafa Esparza. So happy you're here. So happy you joined us this week. I hope you liked that interview. If you want to see the rest of it, go to HY.PAGE /Grappling Hour and become a member of the Grappling Hour family. If you want early access, you can see our interviews 30 days before they go up to our YouTube page. Or if you want to see some of our premium content, including tape studies, new episodes, like mini-sodes, some of them call. That's what the kids say on the streets, I'm told. And as well, some of the vlogs of the world behind my eyes. All right. I think that's going to do it for us. If you guys can do us a solid also and go check us out on Spotify, we're about to put up a shit ton of episodes. And I really want you guys to check those out because I think they're pretty good. Anyway, it's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.